Ladies and gentlemen, I stand before you today with a simple yet profound truth. God is never late. We just lack patience. It's a thought that resonates deeply with each of us because in this fast-paced world, we have become so accustomed to instant gratification. We want everything now, the answers, the changes, the breakthroughs. We're conditioned to believe that if we can't see something immediately, it's either not meant to be or it's not coming at all. But what if the truth is different? What if the delay is not a sign of failure, but a sign of growth? What if the waiting is part of the process that prepares us for the transformation we've been praying for? We live in a culture that thrives on speed. Everything we do seems to be faster, easier, and more convenient. But the truth is, the best things, true change, real growth, the deepest connections take time. They require patience, trust, and an understanding that timing is not always in our hands. Imagine this for a moment. You've set an intention, prayed for something, or envisioned a new chapter in your life. You've done the work. You've aligned your thoughts, your energy, your heart. But as the days pass, the results don't appear as quickly as you'd hoped. The doubts creep in. You start questioning whether it's meant to happen. The frustration builds, and you wonder if maybe you missed your chance. But I ask you this, what if you're exactly where you need to be right now? We often think of time as something linear, a straight line from point A to point B. But what if time isn't like that? What if time is something we co-create with? Something that bends and flows, just like the energy within us. What if the delays, the pauses, the moments of stillness, those moments where it seems like nothing is happening, are part of the divine process, a process designed to prepare us for the greatness that is about to unfold? Let's take a step back and consider this. When you plant a seed in the ground, it doesn't bloom overnight. It doesn't just spring up into a full-grown tree in a matter of days. No, it takes time. The soil must be nurtured. The seed must be allowed to break open, to push through to reach the surface, and then to grow. Each stage is essential. It's not a matter of if the plant will grow. It's simply a matter of time and patience. And so it is with you and I. The divine intelligence that orchestrates the universe is never late. It knows exactly when the moment is right. It knows when we are ready to receive. And sometimes that moment arrives not when we want it to, but when we need it to. When we are most aligned, most open, most capable of receiving the gifts we've asked for. But here's where we often trip ourselves up. We get impatient. We try to force things. We try to push and control, thinking that if we just try harder, it will happen faster. But true power comes from surrendering to the flow, trusting that the process is working in our favor, even when we can't see the full picture yet. When you start to believe that there's a higher force, a divine plan, guiding your life, when you truly trust that you are always being led exactly where you need to be, then the waiting doesn't feel like a burden anymore. It becomes an opportunity. An opportunity to become still, to become present, to become in tune with the very energy that created you. Imagine what would happen if, instead of rushing and stressing, we chose to practice patience and trust. What if we knew with every fiber of our being that the things we desire are already on their way? What if we knew, without a doubt, that we are in the perfect place at the perfect time always? Patience, my friends, it's about actively trusting in the unseen process, staying aligned with our true selves, and allowing everything to unfold naturally. It's about understanding that every delay, every pause is just a moment of preparation, a moment of growth, a moment for us to expand into the person we are destined to become. So the next time you find yourself in that space of waiting, whether it's for a breakthrough, a dream, a shift in your life, remember this, God is never late. You are not behind. Everything is unfolding in divine timing. Your journey, your growth, your transformation is happening exactly as it should. And the most important thing you can do right now is trust. Trust that the universe is working in your favor and that you are right where you need to be. So let go of impatience. Let go of the need to control the timing. And instead, embrace the power of trust, of patience, and of knowing that all things are working together for your good. God's timing is always perfect. We often find ourselves impatient, waiting for things to happen according to our own timeline. We make plans, set goals, and envision outcomes, only to find that things don't unfold as quickly or in the way we expect. In those moments, frustration builds. It's easy to question why things aren't happening faster, why we're not seeing the results we desire, or why the breakthrough hasn't come yet. But what if we viewed time different? What if we saw it not as a strict linear path where things must unfold on our schedule, but as a fluid, dynamic force that works in harmony with the greater plan for our lives? When we trust that God's timing is perfect, we begin to release the pressure of forcing things to happen. We start to understand that every moment, every delay, and every pause has a purpose. Timing isn't something we control, it's something we align with. Just because we don't see immediate results doesn't mean we're not moving forward. Sometimes the timing is just preparing us for something even greater than what we imagined. It's like waiting for a seed to grow. It doesn't happen instantly, but with each passing day, unseen progress is being made beneath the surface. Similarly, the divine plan unfolds in ways we may not immediately understand, but that doesn't mean it isn't working in our favor. In fact, the perfect timing ensures that we're ready for what's coming. Often we are being shaped, strengthened, or prepared for something that requires us to be more grounded, more mature, or more aligned with our true purpose. The delays aren't signs that something is wrong. They're part of the process that guides us to where we need to be when the time is right. The perfection of God's timing is about the right thing happening at the right moment, even if it doesn't fit our expectations. Impatience stems from a lack of trust in the process. In a world where we're constantly encouraged to move quickly, to act now and to make things happen at lightning speed, waiting can feel like an obstacle. The longer we wait, the more we question if we're doing something wrong. We become restless, frustrated, and anxious, believing that the absence of immediate results means we're not on the right path. This impatience, however, often comes from a deeper issue, a lack of trust in the process itself. We don't trust that things are happening in the background, that every step we take is leading us closer to our goal, even if we can't see it yet. Trusting the process requires a shift in perspective. It means believing that everything we experience, every delay, and every moment of stillness has value. We must trust that the universe or a higher power is guiding us through this process with care and purpose. Impatience arises when we assume that we are solely responsible for making things happen, when in reality, there are many unseen factors at play. The universe operates in its own rhythm, one that often moves slower than our minds want it to. When we fight against this rhythm, we experience frustration and doubt, because we are not in alignment with the flow of life. The more we trust that everything is unfolding as it should, the less anxious we become. Trust allows us to release the need to control the outcome, and instead, we focus on doing our part, taking inspired actions, staying aligned with our values, and being present in the moment. Trusting the process is about surrendering the idea that we need to have all the answers or control the timing. It's about understanding that there is wisdom in the waiting, and the right things will come at the right time when we allow ourselves to be patient. Growth often happens in the unseen moments. We tend to focus on the visible signs of progress, promotions, accomplishments, financial success. But the most profound growth often occurs in the quiet, invisible spaces. These moments are not celebrated or acknowledged by the outside world, but they are the ones that shape us the most. The late nights of reflection, the silent battles with fear and doubt, the small decisions made in solitude that push us to become more aligned with who we are meant to be. These are the moments that shape our character and our future. When we are in the midst of transformation, we rarely see the change happening. It's like a seed underground, pushing through the soil without any acknowledgement from the world above. In fact, the most significant shifts occur when we are unaware of them, often during times of struggle or stillness. We may feel like we are stagnant or stuck, but if we look closely, we can see that we are evolving. The discomfort, the challenges, and the waiting are not signs that we are failing. They are signs that something deep within us is shifting, being redefined, and growing in ways we might not understand yet. This is where patience becomes. We want to see progress immediately, but real transformation takes time. Just because we can't see the external signs of growth doesn't mean the process isn't happening. The invisible work, the internal shifts, and the subtle changes are just as important as the external achievements. In fact, they often lay the foundation for the larger breakthroughs. We need to trust that the unseen moments are not wasted. They are critical to the larger process, and often, when the time is right, the growth that has been quietly happening will emerge in ways we never expected. True change takes time and patience. In our fast-paced world, we are often conditioned to expect immediate results. We live in an age of instant gratification, where answers to our questions are just a click away. Packages arrive within days, and technology keeps everything moving at a rapid pace. It's easy to forget that deep, lasting change doesn't happen overnight. True transformation, whether it's in our personal lives, our health, or our careers, requires time and dedication. The process of becoming the best version of ourselves doesn't occur in a single moment. It unfolds gradually, layer by layer, with each experience contributing to the whole. Change, especially profound change, is not always visible at first. We may make conscious decisions to improve ourselves, but the fruits of those decisions often take time to manifest. It's easy to become discouraged when we don't see immediate progress, when our efforts seem to be going unnoticed or unappreciated. But real transformation often works quietly, beneath the surface, and reveals itself only when we've reached a certain point of growth. The impatience we feel during this time is a natural response, but it's also a sign that we are not yet fully aligned with the process. We want change to happen quickly because we believe it will bring us closer to happiness or fulfillment, but the truth is, it's the journey itself, the slow, deliberate process of change, that shapes us the most. To truly change, we must give ourselves the grace to grow at our own pace. Rushing the process only leads to frustration and burnout. Patience allows us to stay grounded, trusting that every step we take, no matter how small, is a step closer to our goals. In the end, the most lasting changes are those that have been nurtured with time and patience, allowing us to grow into the person we are meant to become. Waiting is not a sign of failure, but preparation. In our fast-paced society, we often equate waiting with stagnation or a lack of progress. We feel as though we should always be moving forward, checking things off our to-do list, and accomplishing goals. When things don't move as quickly as we'd like, it can be easy to think that we're falling behind or that we're doing something wrong. We become frustrated, wondering why the results haven't arrived or why the opportunities haven't yet presented themselves. But in reality, waiting is not a sign that something is wrong. It's a sign that something important is happening behind the scenes. During periods of waiting, we are often being prepared for what's to come. These moments of stillness provide the space for us to grow, reflect, and align ourselves with the opportunities that are ahead. We may not see the immediate results of our efforts, but the waiting process allows us to gather strength, learn valuable lessons, and refine our intentions. It gives us time to build the foundation needed to handle the blessings and challenges that are on their way. Waiting gives us the opportunity to clarify our vision and understand our desires more deeply. This process is essential because without preparation, we might not be ready to handle the success, the change, or the growth that is about to unfold. The universe, or the divine intelligence, works in such a way that we are often not given what we ask for until we are truly ready to receive it. The waiting period is the time we need to adjust, to learn, and to evolve so that when the breakthrough comes, we can embrace it fully with the capacity to handle everything it brings. So waiting should not be seen as a period of inactivity or failure, but as a necessary part of our growth and preparation. Divine intelligence knows exactly when we're ready. We often believe that we can control the timing of events in our lives. We set goals, take action, and put in the work, expecting things to unfold according to our own plans. When they don't, frustration arises, and we begin to doubt whether we're doing the right thing. What we fail to realize is that there is a higher intelligence at work, one that has a perfect understanding of when we are truly prepared to receive what we've asked for. Timing, in the grand scheme of things, is not random. It's not based on how much we push or how fast we act. It's about being in alignment with the flow of life, and sometimes that requires us to undergo a deeper process before we are ready to step into the next chapter. Divine intelligence is not just concerned with what we want, but with what we need in order to grow, evolve, and fully embrace the opportunities that are meant for. There may be times when we think we are ready for a particular change or breakthrough, But the universe or divine intelligence knows that we still need more time to evolve. Perhaps we need to build more inner strength, acquire new skills, or gain clarity before we can fully step into our next phase. It's not a matter of being unworthy, but of being prepared. Divine intelligence orchestrates events so that when the right time arrives, we are able to handle everything that comes with it, whether it's success, responsibility, or even the lessons that may come along with the experience. This perfect timing ensures that we don't just receive what we want, but we are ready to fully experience and appreciate it when it arrives. Trust the journey even when you don't see immediate results. It's one of the most difficult aspects of personal growth, holding on to faith when the evidence of progress isn't visible to the naked eye. We live in a world that emphasizes tangible outcomes and quick results. We're taught to measure success by what can be seen, heard, or touched. If things aren't happening quickly or visibly, it's easy to feel like we're failing, like the efforts we're putting in are futile. But real transformation, whether in our personal lives or our careers, doesn't always show up immediately. Trusting the journey requires a shift in perspective, one that allows us to believe in the unseen process. It means accepting that even when we can't see immediate results, everything is still unfolding as it should. We may not always understand the timing, but that doesn't mean nothing is happening. Every step, every moment is part of a larger plan, one that works in its own time with its own rhythm. There are lessons, shifts, and moments of growth that happen when we least expect them, often in places and times that we don't recognize as part of the process. When we learn to trust the journey, we stop measuring our success based solely on visible outcomes. We start to focus on the internal shifts, the changes in our mindset, the growth of our character, the new perspectives we gain along the way. Trusting the journey doesn't mean we sit back and wait passively. It means we continue to put in the effort, stay aligned with our goals, and have faith that everything is unfolding in its own time. Even when results don't show up right away, we trust that each step is leading us closer to where we're meant to be. Trusting the journey allows us to move forward with peace. Surrendering control opens us to deeper possibilities. In our quest for success, happiness, and growth, we often become fixated on controlling the outcome. We think that by meticulously planning every detail, managing every step, and forcing things into place, we can ensure the results we desire. Yet this desire for control often leaves us feeling frustrated and stuck, especially when things don't unfold as we expect. We forget that the most profound opportunities in life come from surrendering the need to control every aspect and allowing expected to end. Surrendering control doesn't mean giving up or resigning ourselves to passivity. It means releasing the attachment to specific outcomes and trusting that the universe or a higher power has a plan for us that is often better than we could have imagined. When we try to control everything, we limit the possibilities available to us. We box ourselves into a narrow vision of what success looks like, and in doing so, we close ourselves off from alternative paths that may be even more fulfilling. By surrendering control, we create an opening for life to surprise us. We begin to see opportunities where we once saw obstacles. We become more receptive to the flow of life, trusting that the universe will guide us where we need to go. This doesn't mean that we stop making decisions or working toward our goals. It means we stop forcing the outcome and instead remain open to new experiences, ideas, and possibilities that may come our way. Surrender allows us to step into a space of abundance and freedom, where we can trust that whatever happens is in our best interest. We allow life to unfold in ways we couldn't have planned, leading us to richer experiences and deeper growth. Timing is co-created with the energy we align with. We often think of time as a fixed objective force that moves forward relentlessly with or without our input. But time is not just a mechanical system of minutes and hours. It's also deeply connected to our energy, intention, and alignment with the flow of life. The truth is, the more we align ourselves with the energy of our desires, whether it's abundance, peace, love, or success, the more the universe aligns with us in return. Timing is not only about the clock, it's about being in harmony with the frequency of what we want to manifest. When we are in alignment with our goals and our authentic selves, the right opportunities, people, and circumstances seem to appear at just the right time. It's as if everything clicks into place effortlessly. This is not coincidence. The energy we radiate attracts the circumstances that match it, and when we are in the right state of mind and heart, things unfold in divine timing. However, when we are disconnected from our true energy, caught up in fear, doubt, or impatience, we may find that time seems to move against us. We feel like things are delayed, or we can't catch a break because our energy is out of sync with the universe. When we consciously choose to align our energy with positivity, gratitude, and trust, we open ourselves to a flow of synchronicities and opportunities. Timing becomes less about waiting for something to happen and more about becoming an active participant in the unfolding process. The more we align with our inner truth and stay in harmony with our desires, the more we realize that the timing we often feel is off is actually perfectly timed to our journey. The universe has a way of arranging itself to match our vibration. Patience is an active choice, not passive waiting. In a world that prizes speed and efficiency, patience is often misunderstood as a passive state of inaction or simply waiting for something to happen. We think of patience as sitting idly by, doing nothing until the desired outcome arrives. But in reality, true patience is an active practice that requires mindfulness, self-discipline, and trust in the process. It is about choosing to remain steady and engaged, even when the results are not immediate. Being patient doesn't mean giving up or resigning ourselves to a life of inactivity. It means remaining aligned with our goals, continuing to do the inner work, and trusting that everything is unfolding as it should, even if we can't see the results right away. It's easy to get discouraged when progress seems slow, but patience teaches us to focus on the present moment, to stay engaged in the journey, and to be committed to the process, even when the end goal feels far away. Patience requires us to release the need for control and surrender to the timing of life. It means making a conscious decision to remain hopeful and positive, knowing that each moment, even the challenging ones, is part of the larger journey. Active patience involves cultivating inner peace, practicing resilience. It's about maintaining faith in the unseen process, knowing that everything is happening in perfect timing and staying connected to our purpose regardless of the obstacles or delays we may face. Patience is not about passively waiting for something to happen. It's about choosing to stay engaged and open to the unfolding of life with trust and confidence in the process.